probably look like this. I used this on the past video. That's pretty cool, right? It looks nice. In the last video, which you can check over here, we talked about image creation and stable diffusion. And stable diffusion being the method is used to create images out of prompts and text and everything else. There are now over 100, I don't know, probably over 100 apps that claim to do some of the things or some of the cool things. Today, we're doing a cool one. It's called Color Cinch. It used to be known as Cartoonize.net. I don't know if you ever used Cartoonize.net, but it turns your images into comic strips, cartoons type in terms of the graphic treatment. So we're checking out Color Cinch, and it's a pretty interesting one. If you check out the tools that I'm going to show you here, it's got a bunch of stuff that it can do to images. So the question is, do you still need Photoshop? I don't know. We'll answer it. Let's go. All right, friends, so here we are, Color Cinch. You need to, at this point, still go to cartoonize.net. I guess at some point they'll fix the URL and change it. Let's cover the important things. So obviously, pricing. This is pretty cool. $5 a month. You can probably get it annually for just 60 bucks. And it's not a bad deal. I use it as a side tool. I love it because it makes a lot of the things that I like to do way faster and easier. For example, you see all these uses. These are technically uses. They just want to make sure that it looks like it does a lot of stuff, but you'll see in the interface all the functionality. And who says you couldn't create an NFT? So they call it NFT maker, but really is an NFT maker. We just applying a filter, right? So those are the things to consider in that. So tons of tools that are mentioned here, but it's all within the actual studio. Let's do a few cool things here and see how this works. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do here is bring a few images, or let's start working with one image and then see the things that you can do here. So if you're not familiar with Photoshop at all, this is gonna be amazing to you. It's gonna be great. And you've probably been doing some of this already with Canva, Canva, not Canvas. Remember, LMS versus graphic authoring tool. So remove background, right? Like the one things that AI brought in order to analyze an image, set all the pixels, and then do a background removal. That's pretty cool. And you can just apply that, and that's it. So 2 clicks, you got a background removal. And then the cool part is to show you here the different things you can do. So there are filters. So we could, throw a dual tone there, quick and easy, add some text, and we got something going. Or, so I mean, you got filters, you've seen filters. There's not too much to do here, but it's a nice, cool little change. It's all, click and go. You don't have to mess around with 3 different tools or layers or anything like that. Now, I know you didn't come here just for me to show you mattes or any other type of filter. Let's go into the fun stuff, which is the cartoonizing effect, right? So this cartoonize effect, for example, you click on it, it will take a few seconds. And there you go. So I just turned this image into a nice cartoon looking thing, and I can go ahead and download it or even add more to the composition, because you can actually add layers up here. All right, cool. We got that going. All right. So let's say, okay, well, that looks amazing. I don't really want to apply that though. Let me try something else. So let's check what this looks like. So that, was CA04, and you can apply a favorite to that, right? And that way you'll know what it is. So here's a different effect, has a little less light, and you'll notice here that you can then try the others. They are amazing. Now, the other one that I like a lot, so that's the cartoonizing effect, which is great. It has different modalities to it. And the other one I like is the sketch effect for 2 reasons. One, you can use this one. So you see the sketch effect here. This is pretty cool. So I'm actually going to use the sketch effect to create my own logo, which I try to do a little bit of that if you notice the channel logo here. So That is super sweet. I love that. Great detail. And the cool thing is, hey, you don't like some of the detail or you want to add more detail, then you can align it here and set it up that way. Now here's the other cool one. If you want to do a little bit of the old school Democratic, Democrat, Republican thing, election, vote for me type thing. I think Obama was the one that there was a dual tone thing that was done. I think the first one was with Obama, and it will probably look like this. I used this on the past video. Ah, that's pretty cool, right? It looks nice. So if you notice, plenty of stuff to work with here. Now, keep in mind, some of these, right? It's not all of them they're amazing. Some of these you can do in PowerPoint, believe it or not. But I gotta say, the detail and the quality that you find here, in many cases, is a lot better. And then in Photoshop, you have to figure out how to do this, right? So you really have to be an expert in Photoshop, or at least very advanced, to know exactly what levels to change and what things to change to create this type of look. While you're here in Cinch or Cartoonize, you can apply it quickly and move on with that. So, if I look at that, I say, okay, well, maybe because I had the background removed already, so this doesn't really make sense because this will make it look more like paper, right? Now, that was the sketcher effect. We have the painting effect, of course, and there's PA11. All right, so if you notice, not a lot of changes from other type of filters. And that's the part that, sometimes we got to think about as to whether these apps are just trying to show that they have a lot of stuff, but they really just do 10 good things, but they want to show you perhaps they do 100. And by doing that, you're supposed to go like, oh, yeah, 100 features. I want that. So look at this. Wow, this really made me look bad. I mean, not that I'm like, some kind of model or something, but I definitely don't look that way. All right, so here you see some kind of granulated effect. So that would be good for like a TV screen, for example, if you're doing something like that. So you'll notice here, once you get in here, you can actually play around and do your trial, or just get it for a month and play with it. But there's a lot of good opportunities here to do this. Not only do you get the filtering effects, and do you get the now you get the filters and the graphic stuff, you also get a full set of editing functions that you can use. All right, so are you ready to give up Photoshop? I would say no, obviously not. Photoshop's still the OG, but there is a lot of functionality here. I mean, $60 a year, I can just quickly go in here, and this is what I need, right? Just go in here, drop an image, apply an effect, boom, download it, put it on my composition. That's it. I'm doing the learning courses, I'm doing multimedia video and stuff like that. A lot of these effects, by the way, are available in CapCut if you're doing video. And that's the only caveat. CapCut does have an image right now, but video does allow you to apply this sort of effects. So tons of opportunity here, something to check out, and more on the AI realm. AI wise, this is really not so much an AI tool per prompt. You're not using prompts to generate anything, but it's certainly applying the AI treatments in the back end, analyzing the images and applying those adjustments to the images. So what else is there? Well, you can add more images, of course, introduce them as layers. For example, if you're working with your images here, there are images you can select from high resolution images and do the work from there. So, my image, that was one thing, right? But I can tell you this from my experience, and even working with, and look, it's coming from Unsplash. So even working with Photoshop, I can tell you that this type of high definition images will do a lot better than any other, other images, obviously, when you apply the effects. But let's say if we go here and start my new project, right? And there is this part right here, or this blue, or this yellow. This yellow probably plays a lot well. You can then do a replace color and work it that way. So you'll take it from here and put it to there. All right, not too bad. So it could be something for cool effects. Like you can replace this color here a bit, and you'll notice that all the aspects of the image are changing color. So anything that was yellow, obviously, get changed to that. So cool stuff. You get to do a lot of these things. It's all available within the app, and you can also apply some cool frames. So frames are fun. I especially love this grunge type of frame. Makes it look like a worn out picture or postcard or something like that. So you can apply some cool effects to that. So obviously not getting rid of Photoshop, but this is great for you to use as a quick emergency tool to get things done quickly for you. And then when you need more time and you have more time, you can go into Photoshop and take all the time in the world to do some cool effects. All right, check us out.